everyone. Happy Sunday, guys. Today it is May 3rd, 2026. It is probably around like 9:15 a.m.-ish. Welcome everyone to our morning reflection. As always. So what happened is, guys, I was trying to do a morning reflection, guys, a couple minutes ago, but then my recording stopped during the reflection because, according to my phone, it says recording time reached. So then I immediately thought maybe my storage is full. So what I did is I deleted all of my recordings except for one recording that I have from Friday on my camera app. And I don't think I want to share that recording because it shows people's faces and stuff. And it's on the New York City subway. So I'm not going to share that one. But of course I'm going to share my reflections. So then I figured maybe it's not the camera app that is the problem. Maybe it is that I have a lot of videos I have a lot of recordings on my other audio apps like Dolby On. So what I did as an emergency protocol is I deleted more than 102 recordings from my past audio recordings on Dolby On, because I feel like that was probably the contributing factor to my storage being full. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't have to constantly delete my videos, because it's it's a lot of back and forth, constantly having to delete my videos. But at least I kept one video recovered. That way I can have something to look forward, like something to listen to. In this case, recording the train sounds. Now today, we were going to Grand Central, guys, for an appointment today. To 42nd Street for an appointment at a consult. We'll see what happens, because my mom still has to do a lot of things. And I really want to take the train. I do not I do not like taking Access-a-Ride, guys, because I just want to take the train. Trains are better, obviously, to be honest with you guys. Taking the train is actually more fun than taking a taxi in general, because taking a taxi is just zooming by the city without enjoying it like slowly as you would in transportation. Now, I learned a little bit more, guys, about the Hibachi Grill and Supreme Buffet yesterday. I went there yesterday, actually, for my cousin's birthday. And I ate a lot, guys. I ate a lot to the point where I got so full that I just wanted to stop eating. I ate pasta Alfredo with fried shrimp, some chicken nuggets, and a little bit of sun crackers afterwards for dessert. And I also ate some Chinese noodles, which I kind of liked, but it was a little bit too... It was way... It was a little too, how do you say? It was a little bit too... It had too much sauce, Chinese sauce in it. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a... But I got pretty full yesterday, guys. I didn't even drink a cup of tea yesterday, because as soon as we got home, my mom just wanted to do whatever she needed to do and then just go to sleep without worrying about our body. And sometimes that happens. sometimes we worry about ourselves too much. Like, we are so exhausted and tired, especially from a long day at work, that we don't care about, like, what our body is telling. Sometimes our tiredness signals override what we actually need. Like, let's say a cup of tea. I don't know if I'm explaining it well. Yeah, guys. So I was up since like 6:50, guys. Not because of like anything bad, but because I wanted to sort of wake up a bit early on weekends so that when I have to go to school tomorrow, I don't have to be confused. My body doesn't have to be confused from shifts. Because if, let's say, I wake up at 9, my body, it would be harder to fall asleep because, but waking up early, like at 6:50, increases your sleep drive earlier in the evening, so that you can sleep better the next. So you can sleep better, but also avoid the confusion from like 3-hour shifts in your sleep schedule. Let's say, because I used to wake up like at 9 a.m. like every day last year. No, not every day, but every Sundays I used to wake up at 9, sometimes even 9:30 last year. And guess what would happen? On Sunday night, it would be hard to fall asleep. And on Monday, I would wake up really, really tired. I would wake up with a burst of energy, and then I would crash later in the day. But now, since I'm waking up a little bit earlier, almost close to my week schedule during the weekends, it's creating still some tiredness Monday, but it's less. It's less of a deal. But now it's mostly the psychology, because on Mondays I always feel tired, and I'm not in a mood for anything on Mondays. On Mondays I just wanna, I don't know, slow down. I just want to be lazy on Mondays, because Monday's just the start of a new school week. Because Monday really doesn't have anything special on a normal school day. Mondays are just, routine, like going back to routine after like a relaxing weekend, let's say. Yeah, back to a fast-paced environment again. Now, I hope, guys, I can bring my own lunch tomorrow, because tomorrow I know they're gonna have pizza for school lunch, and I'm not eating that pizza. I don't like it. It doesn't taste like a pizza that you might get from a store. Yeah, it doesn't taste so good. So, guys, after my reflection, guys, I don't really have nothing else to do but wait for my breakfast to be ready, because I didn't eat my breakfast yet. What I might do is listen to music on my Echo. It's connected to the outlet on the wall. I told Alexa to put feel good music. Not house mix, but I just said, Alexa, play feel good music. Oh, now my Alexa just got triggered, but you might have heard that, guys. My Alexa just got triggered. But then it quickly kind of it stopped listening after that. So yeah, I didn't eat my breakfast yet. So right now, guys, in the kitchen, my brother is helping my mom make the breakfast, which is kind of weird. Well, not weird, but it's just kind of a mismatch. And what I mean by a mismatch is like, how do I explain this? I would just say it's like something that's not supposed to like really happen, because it kind of stresses out my mom when my brother does something wrong in the kitchen or makes a mistake. But we all make mistakes, guys. Us as human beings, as all 8 billion people, we're not. There's no such thing as perfection. But I don't know, some parents get impatient with their child just because they made a mistake, or just because they spilled something in the kitchen, like a cup of coffee or water. A lot of parents often yell at their child and take it personal, instead of just acknowledging the child and saying, it was just a mistake. We can fix this together or whatever. Instead of yelling and snapping at them and blaming at them. I don't know why a lot of parents do that, but they shouldn't do that. You know, instead of just yelling at them, tell them, it's just a mistake. We're not gonna be always perfect every single day, because the good news is that we actually learn from our mistakes. We learn from it. We learn from our mistakes that we make in the hard way. Now, what I've noticed, guys, in the past is when I learn things the hard way, I actually, the memory of it stays for long. The memory of it stays long enough. Maybe for weeks or months. Especially during that hypnagogia challenge that I had a couple weeks ago. I've learned a lesson, finally, that, when an intrusive thought comes into my mind, not just about the hypnagogia, but any general intrusive thoughts that come into my mind, let it just exist. Don't add more stories on top of it. And that's how it kind of fades naturally, and you return back to your normal self again. Yeah, that's how this works. Don't add more stories on top of an existing one. Simply just let it exist, and just let it fade naturally. Yeah, I'm basically trying to say, don't add more energy to the story. Add more scenarios and stuff. And once I learned that lesson, guys, my mind felt safe again. I no longer have those sleep issues anymore. And even if I did hear those humming noises, maybe I wouldn't have remembered. Because, it's all about letting sensations be, instead of immediately panicking. And that kind of connects to more complex mindfulness topics, like staying calm under pressure, especially during situations that involve problem solving. Because when you are calm, you actually problem solve better. You actually problem solve better when you're calm, not when you're panicking. And that's when I want to make it stand out to everyone, that problem solving comes best when you are calm and centered in the moment, instead of panicking and rushing. And I learned that lesson, guys, a lot of times because, especially in the building in Lighthouse, there's a lot to remember in terms of where to go and stuff. Especially me as a blind person, because a lot of sighted people just remember things by vision, but me, I have to remember things by tactile feedback and sounds and stuff and clues, and that kind of requires consistency. For a sighted person, they might just look at a sign and then they might confidently know that they're there. And there's nothing wrong about that. Yeah. So yeah, when it comes to that, guys, like unable to find let's say the cafeteria to eat my lunch, calmly think of ways to get it done. Like maybe asking for assistance. Because asking for assistance is, even if it might seem like you're not independent, it is actually part of being independent because it's part of self-advocacy. Because, self-advocacy is part of it being an independent person. Even if it involves the most terrible things like talking to random strangers on the street for help. Because a lot of people, they don't know which direction they're going. So they ask a random stranger, how do I get to whatever stop? Or how do I get to Grand Central 42nd Street? I feel like I shouldn't rely on them, but at the same time, I feel like I should. Because sometimes, a lot of people can be unpredictable. They can suddenly burst out or insult, or they might be friendly or calm. A lot of people can be unpredictable, especially in a crowded city. Now, guys, speaking about that, yesterday, guys, somebody on the when I was heading to the buffet yesterday, somebody, I don't know who, was like, sit, papi, and that person kind of, I don't know, said something about me that maybe was a bit offensive. And I think she said that I was probably scared to. I don't know. She was probably saying it in a good way or in a. I don't know if I was not able to tell if she was saying it in an offensive way or in a good way. But she was basically telling, I don't know who, that I was kind of scared to fall and stuff. Well, that's kind of true. Because when it involves things like sitting on the bus, I have to kind of touch the seat with my hands before I put my tushy on the seat. Because, that's how I know that my seat is there. A sighted person might just see any random seat and then just sit down without worrying about falling. But me as a blind person, it's different because in order for me to make sure that my body is in my seat, and I'm sorry if I said tushy because I might sound a little bit inappropriate, I have to touch the seat with my hands before I put my body before I put my my thing in the seat. That's how I make sure that I don't fall. Yeah. So that person was probably saying it in a good way or in an offensive way. And the way the person said, sit, papi, sit, that might have sounded like she was rushing a bit. Yeah. But that person shouldn't have done that, but that's how people are. Now, in past instances, guys, there were people that saw me, guys, and said, God bless you to me. That sounds a little bit that sounds awkward, guys, because how could a random person just come to me and say God bless you, or because the reality is that whoever person says that probably feels something good about me, like it's like open-hearted kind of person, and that's understandable. But it kind of sounds awkward too, And whenever those things happen, guys, I say thank you, but I say like thank you, like that, because I'm kind of shy around these people. I'm shy around strangers in general. But maybe I should slowly start kind of taking that shyness away, because when it comes to, let's say, job interviews as an adult, I will have to encounter random strangers. Or if I need to know where my stop is, I need to communicate with the bus driver. So basically, I need to communicate with people. If I need to kind of, I don't know, stay calm and communicate to try to communicate with people, even if they're unpredictable. That might be hard, guys. And that's why I'm getting O&M training and stuff for this. Because New York City can be unpredictable for sure. New York City can be unpredictable. And it is a high-stress environment. But learning how to navigate through the unpredictable environment is just enough to kind of have the tools you need to navigate a busy environment and talk to unpredictable strangers on the street. Yeah. And I'm glad I'm using a cane, guys, because according to research, a cane is a global symbol, guys, of blindness. It is a global symbol of blindness, guys. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Because, yeah, it's a white cane. It has been historically used. And that's why, guys, I always bring my cane outside. Not just because of that, but to navigate safely through my environment as a blind person. Yeah, I rely on cane techniques and human guide. Or sighted guide, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I rely on those techniques. When I'm using my cane, guys, I rely on human guide, guys. If let's say I feel like the environment is too busy or in an unfamiliar environment, that's when I need human guide. But let's say in a familiar environment like my neighborhood, I might still need human guide, but I might be able to kind of navigate it. But without human guide, guys, I've noticed myself walking slower. Because with human guide, I trust them and I can walk at my normal pace. At fast. Yeah. Without human guide though, guys, I have to kind of use my cane technique, and I need more time for that. I need time and a level of patience to navigate an obstacle like a bicycle or maybe a truck in some cases. Yeah. So guys, we're doing a longer reflection today, guys, because on weekdays we usually do a shorter reflection because during my reflection, guys, then it's already time for me to go. But now we're doing a longer reflection because it's Sunday. There's nothing really happening except for me possibly going on the train later today. But that's probably it. Alright, everyone, we're going to end our reflection right there because I kind of ran out of things to talk about with you guys today. But I recommend you guys subscribe, turning on the notifications, and commenting on my videos to reach a more wider audience. And to stay up to date with my latest videos coming up soon. So, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.